Good morning, this is Mrs. Cruz with our 7i weekly announcements. We are now in week 7, so as the little image shows, we are almost there. Only 3 weeks away from the end of the year, and it'll approach us really quickly. So, as we get started, as usual, I like to start with Scholars of the Week. This week, I have chosen 2 that have shown improvement, and 2 that have consistently been on top of all of the assignments throughout the quarter. So first, Jared, from period 3, you're showing a lot of improvement. I see that you're checking in regularly and working on getting all your assignments in. So way to go. Then Destiny Delgado from period 4, you're consistently doing all of your material, and the quality is really good, and you always work on it. You always ask questions when you need to, and other than that, you just try your best on all the assignments. Then Nathan Lopez from period 5, you are doing a great job also maintaining the consistency, and I like that lately there's no question about the quality of the work that you're turning in. You're really trying your best, and I can tell that. And then period 6, Christian, I like that you are trying your best. You are now emailing me questions that are more specific, and I like that you are, I could tell that you're working really hard to turn in missing assignments, so keep it up. Missing assignments are still possible, just like I said last week. You can still catch up. We have 3 weeks. I know that we are moving ahead on the chapters, but if I see that you're trying your best to catch up, I'll work with you, so please make sure that you're still trying your best, and especially asking for help if you feel a little lost or stuck on what to do. I know that those of you who are finding success, it's because you found a routine that best suits you. So if you are having issues with that, that means maybe we need to wake up a little earlier, or maybe we need to dedicate specific amounts of time for our class, and maybe you might need to spend a little bit more time than others at this point, but it's still possible. We want to make sure that whatever routine you're using, it's helping you to work on our assignments each day, and it's also making sure that you're turning in quality work. So I sometimes won't grade your assignment if it's not 100% done, or if it looks like the effort maybe is not there. So just make sure that if you're working on it each day, you'll avoid that problem. As of right now, we are on chapters 8 and 9. It gets really, really interesting, and we know that the Logans just enjoyed Christmas, and we see that, Papa's giving a lot of good lessons, Uncle Hammer's giving a lot of good lessons, but now we see after Christmas, is Stacy going to follow his dad's advice about Jeremy? Is anything going to happen, since Mr. Jameson agreed to really help everybody out with the credit? So we're going to see, are there going to be any consequences there? So it'll be some interesting chapters to read. So looking at our weekly schedule ahead. So here is our weekly schedule that we could look at. So basically we have our quote, which is great is the art of beginning, but greater is the art of ending. I chose this one because I think it's really important to remember that since we're so close to the end, it's important to keep that stamina going. I know at this point you might feel a little exhausted about this whole distance learning approach, but remember that we're in it together, so keep going. I don't have the scholar goal yet, so I'll update it as soon as I do. So our focus chapters, as I mentioned, are chapters 8 and 9. I ended up adding some pages to read on Friday this time around, just so it still feels like it's pretty evenly distributed, and that way it should still take you about half an hour, especially if you're following along with the videos that I post. So today your goal would be pages 1 to 11, and to answer text minute question number 1. And as you can see, they're kind of evenly distributed there, so that way on Friday you do have some pages to read, but you also are taking the quiz. I've already posted the first videos, so here's part 1 and part 2 if you want to click there, and then I'll continue updating these links as I post more videos. I like that you guys are watching them to check your answers to make sure that you are completing good quality answers, because sometimes as I'm reading some of your responses, I could tell that maybe either A, you didn't finish the reading 100%, or B, you're confused. And if you're confused, then make sure you're watching these videos to double check your answer, especially since you know that I complete the answers in part 2. So tomorrow we have our optional office hours at 1:30, and then on Thursday we have our discussion that's due, where you either post it on Google Classroom, and this week I will be opening up the discussion at 1 p.m. Okay, so everything else is basically the same. I put this in red since yesterday was our Memorial Day celebration, so hopefully you guys had a good weekend and were able to get a lot of rest. And let me know if you have any questions about the work that's due this week.